Hey, check this out. Her medical bills are sending the family into bankruptcy, and he refuses to cancel his $200 golf membership fee. That's crazy. Help me fix this disaster, y'all. Welcome back to the Money Map Budget Planner, your journey with James. Today, we're going to dive into another real life money drama, and this is a real interesting one, y'all. We're going to open up a budget together and see exactly where the money's actually going, and to see where we can free up some cash for their goals here that they have. But before we jump in, let me just say this. This is the exact planner that I use to get out of debt. And, it relieved me of the money stress. And, I finally was able to see where my money was going. And, this gives you total clarity in under 15 minutes a day. So, grab a pen. You might spot a few leaks in your own budget too. So let's just go ahead and jump in. All right, so here's a situation where we are inside the Money Map Budget Planner under the monthly budget form. This is one that you're going to be using on a frequent basis every single month. You should be anyway. And so here's the goal of this particular family. They have a medical bill of about $900 a month. Okay, so obviously the balance of that is super high, a lot higher than $900, right? So they want to get rid of that. At least that's what she says. All right, now he wants to not really give up his golf game here. So at least for a little while he should. But anyway, let's just see what happens here. All right, so their income, we're gonna start with the income. They're making together combined, it's like $7,200. All right, excuse my writing. Let's make this a little better. $7,200. That's what they're bringing home each and every month. Now we're going to go ahead and move on down to the next two columns. Now we're going to start off with the fixed expenses, and we also have the variable expenses. We're going to start over here. Now what they're paying for the mortgage that they have on their house, they're paying $2,100. Doesn't look like a two. $2,100, guys. That's what they're paying right now. Okay, so it's not too bad. They're actually about 29% of their income. How you figure that out is that you'll take the amount of the debt that you're paying per month, you divide it by the total income, and that'll give you a percentage of what it is. And so mortgage companies are saying it's okay to be at 40%, that's the cap. That's the most you could probably be at. I wouldn't recommend it. If you want to stay, safely in your home, you want to stay around 30 or less, even better. Okay, it used to be 25% not that long ago, to be honest with you. So you see how things have changed quite a bit. Okay, next we're going to go on to the utilities. Utilities, they're paying somewhere around, it's like about $400, right? $400 is not too bad. They're still under 10%, which is where you want to stay. You want to stay under 10% to keep things kind of going, and that includes the gas, the electric, the Wi-Fi, water, trash, and all that good stuff. All right, next is their car loans. Car loans, they're paying $800, $800 right now. So it's probably one car, I think, from what I can tell. But anyway, so $800 it's a little high, but to me it is. But maybe not to you guys out there. But let's see what else they got. But also with their insurance, what they have for the car insurance is $300, right? So $300 plus the $800, and we're looking at $1,100. I'll put this over here. $1,100, okay, for the car. All right. So as far as the insurance column here that I have, what I like to do is include it all together. So the $300 for a car insurance, the health and life insurance they spend for $550, the total is $850. $850. Okay, so that's what they're spending on insurance. Now, of course, that car expense is at $1,100. That's not counting any maintenance at all, and it does not include any fuel costs at all. Okay, so that's what they're paying out for the car. This is what they're paying out for insurance. Now, here's the kicker. This is what they got going on. The medical bills she has, is $900 a month. $900. That's crazy. So it's quite a bit. You know, it's a large bill if you're paying that much money each and every single month. And, you know, so they're struggling right now. This hurts families in this type of situation. It could possibly hurt their credit because they're considering bankruptcy. At least she is at this point. That's not a good idea, I don't think. But, you know, let's find out a little bit more about what's going on. Okay, next is their food or the grocery bill. They're spending $900. $900 for food. That's about $225 a week. Not too bad. That's considerably, weekly, that is. It's not too bad. But they're still under, looks like they're still under, 20%. You want to stay under 20% of your food cost, right? Okay, next is gas. The gasoline fuel cost, they're spending $500. All right, so that's not too bad. Actually, it seems like they probably live close by, they work close by as well. So they're kind of in a good situation in that sense. Not too bad there. All right, so let's move on. Let's see what else we can get. Let's move on to the next column. Let's go over here to the variable expenses and see what we can find out about them. So now what they're doing now is they eat out. They eat out quite a bit. They eat at these restaurants, fast foods, all the other good stuff there. They're spending around, let's see here, they're spending $450. That's what they're spending to eat out right now. Okay, so I look at it this way. Look, if you're in a bind right now, it's probably a good time to start making some changes. And, it's time to cut back where you can. And on this column over here, this whole variable expenses, this is the easiest place to find money in all of our budgets. No matter where we are, no matter who we are, no matter how much we make, there's money that can be had in this section of your expenses. All right. So, with $450, I would say, off the top of my head, let's just cut this down to, I would say probably, $250. Maybe you could save $200. All right. Just off the top of my head. I still don't know all the rest of it. Let's figure this out. All right. So next, they're spending, discretionary spending for clothing is $300. It's not bad. It could be less, but it's not bad, especially if you have, children going to school and all that. They go through clothes a lot faster than us adults do. All right, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I think that's okay for now. Now, just keep in mind, you can always cut back on any of these, especially these variable expenses here on this side. And so you could start off and say your first month, you can come out and maybe cut 2 to 3 of these expenses down, right? And then within 30 days, you'll absolutely notice the difference right away, immediately, if you follow this plan, right? And then by that second month or third month, you'll pull out this same form again, this monthly budget form, and you redo it with the new numbers that you just came up with, right? So you just you're compounding on this and saving more each and every month. So this will definitely help you along the way. Okay, so next is the discretionary shopping. So of course they're eating out, they're buying clothes, and now they're shopping, whatever, just frivolous stuff, money just going here and there and everywhere. We all have it. So, but theirs is $450 that they're spending out, not really knowing where where it's going. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere, whatever. I would do this. I would look at that and say, look, since I can't really account for it anywhere, let's see if we can cut that down to maybe like $150. Okay. And that could save you the difference there, $200, $300 actually. All right. So $300. All right. So you're saving $300 if you do that. Let's look at $500 that we're finding right away off the top. Next is subscriptions. They're spending, excuse my writing, $220 on subscriptions. Again, you know how I feel about subscriptions. You can only watch one channel at a time. And, yes, you may have, a household full of kids, maybe, just different ages of different people and all that. So with that in mind, you probably don't need no more than maybe 3 or 4 at the most apps or these type of subscriptions. At minimum, maybe let's say a Disney Channel, a Netflix or a Hulu or something like that. You can cut all that down under $100 easily. There's no reason why you can't do that. That's what I would do. But in this case, this is their budget, not mine. This is their priority, not mine. So that's what I would do. Anyway, so I'm going to leave that alone for them, and they can work that out for the next month, after that. So the next is the golf. This guy here, he's spending $200 a month on golf. Now, really, that's not that bad for this particular sport. This sport is expensive. Everyone knows it. Anyone who plays the game knows it's an expensive game. But for $200, that's not bad. I don't know why it's at that level or that low or whatever, but that's what they're spending. Maybe just some type of lower type of membership. I'm not sure. He's spending $200. All right. But here's the kicker. The thing is that, we got this $900 over here and this this medical bill, which needs to go. That affects everybody. It affects everybody in the household. It does, and that's what I would say to do, is that I would do something to get rid of this. So I would say, get down to zero. Even if it's for, 6 months to a year, you could make a big difference with that, and you could save $200, right? All right, so next is the gym. The gym, they're spending approximately $100. All right, $100, not too bad. It could be less. You can always find, you can always find a way to cut on any one of these in the variable expense column. Absolutely. But we're going to leave that alone. I think that's okay for now. Maybe next month, the month after that, we can do that. Next is the credit cards, guys. This is the worst one of all. I think this is just my opinion. They spend $600, guys. $600 each and every month. That's a high bill. That's a high balance on this credit card. Again, in our current economy that we're in right now, we're in a credit crisis. The rates are high. They're talking about lowering it down, but that doesn't really matter because credit cards are already high, and they don't have to notify you whether they're going higher or not. They don't have to tell you, right? And they don't. All right, so keep that in mind. And so as they're raising up their interest rate on your credit card that you're paying $600 on, guess what? Less and less of that money is going to the balance to pay it down, which means you're going to be paying more and more each and every month, even though you're paying the exact same amount, $600 every month. Let's say it's the same amount every month. Less and less of that's going to the balance. More of that is going into their pockets. And the longer you're going to be paying that $600. That's how it works, guys. That's how all credit cards work. That's just the truth of the matter. All right. So that's where they're at right now. Unfortunately, that's the situation. Okay, so let's see. Now, they do have some savings somewhere. They had mentioned that to me, but they don't put money in. It's just something they have. So for now, we're just going to leave that. We'll just say save, right? Savings. And they have about $800 saved up. And they're not adding more to it. So that's where they're at right now. That's okay. Right now, we're gonna fix this. We're gonna fix this. All right, so here's the situation. Now, if you add up all these expenses here, all these columns, this is what they're at. They are spending, this is what they're spending per month. $8,770. That's crazy. $8,770. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. Look at that. Now their income that's coming in is 72, right? So let's move this down. Let's see if we can, we'll put this over here. Their income, or actually their expenses, let's say their expenses is 8,770, right? That's the expense, right? Now their income is 7,200. Right? Subtract that. What do we got? We have here, they're in the hole by 1,500 and looks like 70 bucks. That's what they're in the hole for every single month, guys. They're in trouble. They're in big trouble, right? So, you know, they need more than just the $900 gone. They need to do a much more of an extreme situation. But this is what they're insisting on. So I'm going to leave that to them, and that's their, like, again, it's their priority. I will lead them in the way that I would see fit. But you know, again, they have to pay their own bills. It's not me, right? So anyway, so this is where they're at. This is what I'm going to do to start them off at and see how we can help them. Even though they're kind of holding back is what they're doing. They think they're going to lose. They're losing out, but they're not. They're actually gaining by doing this. This is a benefit, guys, to each and every one of us, right? You want to keep more of your money in your pocket, not into someone else's pocket, especially now, more than ever. So, all right, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to see where we can cut back at. All right, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to take some of this restaurant out of there, right? Let's just do that. We have 450, right? We're going to cut that down to, let's say, 250. And I would cut that down much more if it was my budget, or, you know, someone who's willing to go a little more aggressive. And we save them $200 a month, right? So that's what we're going to do. Next, I would say the shopping. The shopping's 450. Discretionary shopping, which you don't even know where it's going. That's sad right there to me. I would knock that down to 150, and so they can save $300. All right. All right. Next, I would say the golf. Get rid of the golf, man. You don't need that right now. It's not important. All right. It's nothing wrong with having fun, but let's take care of some things here. I would say this is what I would do. The 200 per month, I'd knock that down to 0 for at least a period of time and allow them to save the $200. All right. So all that being said, you know, that's $700. $700 a month that they can save right away. First month, first 30 days. Right. So that's crazy. I mean, this here can be very helpful for someone right now to get out of this situation. And I really want to help someone that way. This is what that adds up to, guys. The 700, right, equals in 12 months is $8,400. That's how much they could save in a year's time, right? Now, you know, here's the situation. Now, again, this couple is drowning in $900 worth of medical bills, and, you know, hubby don't want to give up the $200 for the golf membership, but it's nearly $2,400 a year, while the creditors are basically knocking at his door. So again, we're cutting the golf down to save the $200 from there. We'd cut the restaurants down and save another $200, and of course knock down the shopping as well. So all this is $700. That's $8,400 a year, enough to crush a medical debt faster and finally breathe again. And sometimes it's just not about the math. It's about the priorities, guys. It's all about your priorities. So I would recommend for them to calling their medical creditors, right, and setting up a lower payment plan with them, which they all do, guys. Every single one that's a medical creditor, they all accept lower payments and all that. So, and then focus that $700, okay, on your credit card debt, right? That high interest credit card debt that affects your credit score much more worse than any medical debt could ever do. And that's because of the laws. The laws actually protect consumers with the medical debt, right? Because they know they can be excessively high having, surgeries and whatnot. So that's the plan that I would go with. So next up, a family making $10,000 a month, but behind on its mortgage. You'll see the American dream is sinking them into foreclosure. All right, there it is, guys. We found the money hiding there in their budget. The truth is, it's never about how much you make. It's about how you manage it. And if you want to see the same results in your own life, you start tracking your own money with a digital money map budget planner. Now, I wish I had this planner years ago when I was struggling to stay afloat, but it's helped me and many others so far to get out of debt and, just basically keep control of our finances. And I know it would help you as well if you just let it. Just 15 minutes a day can change everything for you. Find the link in the description, pin in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification for more. Don't wait. Master your money. Don't let money master you. Get your money map today. God bless, and see you next time.